And everything that we do is recorded there. The good things and the things that are not so good. We have these 7 laws that God gave all humankind. And certainly we can look at all the chaos that's been going on in this community and communities throughout this country and possibly the world. And we can recognize that God had 7 laws, and that Noah was given these 7 laws to expound upon them to his children, and that they were understood. What I'm saying when I say they were understood, they were perceived one way. So they weren't intended to be, so to speak, even though there's 5,000 interpretations for every letter, every word, every sentence of Torah, yet the laws have a very specific intent. And so when we see chaos and we see destruction in the streets of many cities in the country and throughout the world, we recognize that individuals are not focusing on God, the creator of the universe. We recognize that individuals are not obeying what God has commanded. Not about what white people have commanded, not about what black people have commanded, not about what rich have commanded or poor, about what God has commanded every soul that lives on this earth. And so we know that in these 7 laws that one of them is to set up a government to rule and to establish order and laws. So in some countries, the laws that are established in Missouri, they're quite a bit different. I don't understand these countries that have laws that physically kill people by cutting their heads off or removing body parts, God forbid, kananahara. They're not in agreement with the original 7 principles that God has established. We have so much difficulty in our world because we're not focusing on God. That's the simple of it. We're not focusing on what God wants. We're not focusing on what's important to God. We recognize there's people that have a lot more money, a lot more gadgets, a lot more enjoyable toys than we have, and we want those. And we're going to get them regardless of the price sometimes. God help us, Kananahara. We have lots of toys and we're wealthy and we're very well off, and we want to show everyone how we enjoy all these things, but in truth we don't, because they get old to us fast and they just sit around. Dear ones, we have 2 gematrias that I'd like to show. The gematria we spoke about of David, V'seferah Techa, in your book. Oh, Holy One, we thank you so much that you're so good and so kind to us, and yet you love us and you care for us. And then we must also realize that even though we call you Abba, Father, yet you're the judge. You're the one who judges us and who records our actions. And so, dear ones, we have this relationship with God, but we have to have an understanding that God also records our deeds. And just as in our classroom here, there's 4 walls. The 4 walls of our home, the 4 walls of our business place, the walls of our automobile, the walls of wherever we go, witness our conduct, and it's all recorded. We must be conscientious. It is important how we live. It is important what we do, because it will affect many other individuals. So God keeps a record. Now we know that in the days of Noach, everyone in this world was destroyed. They were completely destroyed, except for Noach, his wife, their 3 sons and 3 daughters-in-laws. The whole world had become so corrupt, so evil, so filled with stealing and lying and cheating and sexual misbehavior beyond imagination,